Thank you, Speaker. This has been a very difficult day and conversation for all of us, and I'm sure all over the city people are having conversations like this one. When we have a period of gun violence, as we have in the City of Toronto, there is a desire, an urgency, a need that we all feel as those of us who represent Torontonians, an urgent need to do something. But listening to the conversation, I think when we react out of that urgent need, sometimes we just jump at the first available idea. And often, being human beings, the first available idea is not the best one. It's just simple, blunt force, do something. And I would say that too many of the things I have heard in this debate have been that blunt imposition of state force to try to control the very deep and ongoing problems of violence in our community. To get to the real solutions, we have to step back and resist that urge to act the fastest, hardest way you can. We have to ask ourselves, why? What possesses a young man to pick up a gun and murder somebody? It's so far outside our laws, our norms, our taboos, the values of our society, the things all of us hold dear. What puts someone so far outside that? And I think a key to understanding that is that for many people in our community, those norms, laws, and taboos don't offer them much. They don't offer them equal participation in our society. They don't offer them the opportunities of our society. They don't offer them the same wealth as other members of our society have. Many of the laws, norms, and behaviors of our society actually exclude people and tell them you are not part of our society. To understand the roots of violence, we have to ask ourselves what it is to live in poverty, what it is to be a racialized person in our society, what it is to be a young man in a culture that promotes male violence, what it is to live in a society that fetishizes violence and guns. And we have to start to think, rather than imposing yet more violence, yet more surveillance, yet more social exclusion on those communities, what actually gets them to believe in the value of our lives. To say, I will never pick up a gun. To believe that by following the rules you have a hope of being an equal member of our society. To believe that there aren't barriers to fully enjoying the fruits of the wealth that we have in the City of Toronto. Those are the things we need to invest in if we want to stop the next young man from picking up a gun. Ask yourself this simple question. If you live in one of the communities where we're considering watching you, listening to you, and sending in yet more men and women with guns, what does that tell you about your social worth? What does it tell you about our values when we solve a problem by sending in people with guns to control you? Does that discourage you? No, it does not. The rush to do something, to reassure Torontonians, I understand that, but don't take the easy, blunt tool. Think of those programs that we can have that divert people from those choices, that make people believe in the norms of our society, that make people believe they are welcome and equal participants in our society. If we invest in those programs, if we tell Torontonians who are potentially on the path to violence, there's a better way and you're welcome to participate in it, and we want you to participate in it, and we as a society will dedicate resources to having you participate in our society, then we are on the road to actually solving gun violence.